The revolution's near, but to me it seems quite clear that it's all just a little bit of history repeating. That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It seems they're always making history in the ACC, college basketball's toughest conference, with 7 potential NCAA teams still alive. And a sellout crowd of over 23,000 is packed the Greensboro Coliseum to be part of it. It's championship week, presented by 7-Up. The quarterfinals of the ACC, with the North Carolina Tar Heels taking on the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech in the second game of the day. Earlier this afternoon, top-seeded Duke eliminated the Virginia Cavaliers. Virginia played its way in with an overtime win over Clemson last night. Tonight's games scheduled for 7 and 9. North Carolina State against Florida State, Wake Forest against Maryland. Our star watch today, 2 outstanding guards, one for North Carolina, one for Georgia Tech. Dick?
Well, I'll tell you, Raymond Felton can really handle the rock, distribute it with the best. Jared Jack has stepped up in his second year. He's scored 12 points a game. His assist-to-turnover ratio is almost 2-to-1, and he's really so quick with the basketball that he puts terrific pressure always on the defense.
Raymond Felton, third-team ACC, even though he's first in the conference in assists, 5th in the nation against competition that is just devastating night in and night out. That's how many good players there are in the conference this year. Roy Williams with the best winning percentage of any coach in college basketball, 79+% in his 16th season. And Paul Hewitt has turned around the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets with 22 wins this year, the most victories the school has had since the 95-96 season under Bobby Cremins.
I was on radio with him this morning on the Steak and Bow show in Atlanta, and we were talking about the matchup. And I can tell you, as you look at the lineup right here for North Carolina, he's done an amazing job, Mike. When you think about losing, as we said on a radio show, he lost Chris Bosh and Ed Nelson.
Absolutely.
Nelson went over to Connecticut, Bosh to the NBA.
And this is the lineup he has settled on late in the season. McHenry in there for his defense. He is a stopper. Schencher has played so well in the second half of the year. Just gotten better and better.
Second half of that game against Duke, he was the difference down the stretch. He really took advantage of the fact that Williams was in foul trouble.
And Georgia Tech has made its living on defense all year long. It's going to be tough for them to guard Rashad McCants, though. He has been on fire.
Everybody's had a tough time handling him.
May with an air ball over Schencher. The big guy has already altered his shot.
As a look at Jack, as he likes to push the ball up the court. They like to play at a fast pace.
C.J. Elder, nice fake. Couldn't make the shot drop, and Scott clears to Felton.
This should be a game really with good tempo to it.
Felton pull up 3.
C.J. Elder so explosive on the wing.
Jack down the lane and goes down hard, and they're going to call Felton for a reach-in. Defense has been North Carolina's problem this year, as Roy Williams has seen his club get better in the second half of the season, but certainly not where he wants it to be defensively.
I think when you look at North Carolina, such a dangerous team as you start to approach the NCAA tournament. When I say dangerous, think about their losses. Their losses have been Heartbreak Hotel. Mike, I really believe they're like 5 possessions away from having a phenomenal year. Triple overtime, Wake Forest. You and I did both games with Duke. That could have went either way. You got the factor when you throw in a game with Georgia Tech when Elder hits 5 threes in a row to beat them. Then they get beaten that game. You and I were shocked they had a 24-point lead with Florida State.
That was staggering. They have lost 6 games by 6 points or less and stand 18-9 coming into the tournament. McHenry naturally draws McCants as his defensive assignment.
Well, Duhan did a great job to shut him down in the second half in that game at Duke.
May can't get by Schencher, and look at the take it off. Run the court, and he is fouled by May. Schencher, the 7-1 center, as soon as that ball was turned over, sprinted to the other end of the court to make a play.
He sprinted to the other end, but Paul Hewitt would have had himself a layup, and he knows it right there. He went away from the basket rather than toward the basket. The basket was wide open for a layup and a jam.
7'1", 250. His last 4 games, he's averaged over 11 points a game. His season's average is 8.7, and he has moved into the top 10 in rebounding in the ACC.
You know, we talk about so often in basketball or in any sport about having chemistry, and that's what they have now in that Georgia Tech team. They really love playing with one another, and they got really understanding of each guy's role.
McCants nearly dribbles it off his foot, and our producer Kim Belton says that Schencher, because of his Australian accent, is a heartthrob on the Georgia Tech campus.
Wow.
That makes life better, doesn't it? Williams turned into a double team, and Schencher helps swat it out of bounds with McHenry.
So you say he's big man on campus, huh?
That's what they tell me.
Big man on campus. There he is right now, Schencher. He'll be big man right there. I'll tell you, big man right there playing defense in the eyes of the coach if you play defense
Hey,
like
when
that.
you're 7'1", you're a big man wherever you go. McCants will inbound. 3-0 Georgia Tech after a minute and a half.
He's the orchestra leader. Felton's the guy that's going to make things happen right there. Like right there. Great vision. A lot of South Carolina. They hung his jersey.
Schencher down court in a hurry again. He kicks it out to Lewis. Schencher, offensive rebound, has it blocked by Jawad Williams.
Just got to get a little bit quicker with the ball.
May on the run, and that's a blocking foul and the basket.
You talk about big guys running the court. May filling the lane. The big wide body gets out in transition. Takes it right to the goal scorer. Look at Felton with the great look inside. The drop step, the finish, the flush. Now look at the big guy on the break. Jawad Williams gives it to him. And there he is. Good body control. Lays it on the glass. His daddy was so special. His daddy must be crying now over the Hoosiers. Not going to be in the big dance. They may not be in the NIT. In fact, they're not in the NIT.
Dad played for the last undefeated team in college basketball as Lewis travels.
What a great team that was with Quinn Buckner and certainly Wilkerson and May and Benson and Laskowski and Abernathy, the Generals Club that went undefeated in '76.
A good memory.
Not really. I used to love that team.
5-3 North Carolina. They've scored the last 5. May backing in on Schencher.
He laid some big screens, May.
Felton, great movement. Are you kidding?
Oh, that can't be for real. Are you serious? Mr. Felton, are you serious?
A baseline jump hook from your point guard at 7-3 heels.
Play horse with that one against you.
Jack trying to get inside, tipped out of bounds by Carolina.
Take a look at this shot. I mean, are you kidding me? That's prayer time. How would you have to match that in a game of horse?
Well, he sees Schencher and McHenry, throws up a prayer, and it's answered.
That's called adjusting to the situation.
Schencher gives it back to Jarrett Jack. Baseline pull up and got it. Jarrett Jack would have passed on that shot last year. He really didn't want to put it up outside of 5 feet.
I'll tell you, he has really improved, just like Sheldon Williams would do.
Felton, this time it's an air ball, and Schencher with another rebound.
Well, he had an open look that time, so it was too easy.
Lewis open, really good three-point shooter.
Yeah, they got guys that can shoot from the wings. When you talk about Elder and Lewis.
Or McCants working hard on defense, so it's Felton stole that one, and Elder saved a breakaway layup by tipping the ball away.
I'll tell you, both these clubs have the potential to be outstanding teams next season. They really do if everybody comes back to school. Look at the denial right here. See the good denial? That's ball, you, me. That's the defense you like to play. Ball, you, me. You want to make sure it's never ball, me, you.
You're confusing me again. Georgia Tech, 2 early turnovers, 1 for Carolina.
Trying to keep the ball out of McCants' hands. He's such a dangerous three-point shooter.
Look at Schencher come out with a double team. McHenry, such a terrific defender, got his body in front. Noel just into the ball game with a follow, and he is fouled. That'll be on McHenry, his first. If McCants gets partway by you, as he did on that last drive, and you can recover to get back in front of him, that's terrific quickness on McHenry's part.
Well, they got up on the offensive glass to create that opportunity. The ball you man theory is a theory utilized, was started by Al LaBalbo. The father of defense was an assistant coach to the General Robert Montgomery Knight at West Point. Which is very simple. It's ball, you, man. Very simple theory utilized by schools across the nation.
And you're supposed to see the ball and your man at the same time.
Exactly. You're supposed to split. You're right, Coach Patrick. Yeah.
Noel misses a pair.
We'll get you away from that pigskin.
I just like to do both things.
Man-to-man defense, trying to pressure the ball, trying to make a commitment, as you said earlier, Mike, so accurately. That's been their dilemma.
Jeff will fire. No good. Nice screen out by Jawad Williams.
He did a great job blocking out and lost Bart. See, I think the kids are buying into the Roy Williams system now. They're starting to understand what it takes to win. Look at that speed.
Jack, 2-on-3. Schencher tried to keep it alive, and it's off North Carolina.
He had a tough angle right there on that shot, Jack, but you can see his speed. His speed is just incredible. As you look at Paul Hewitt, who did a great job at Siena. Look at that speed. I mean, with the basketball, he's as quick as anybody.
May will come back in. Williams will get a breather for Roy Williams in the heels.
All kinds of rumors. New York papers filled with Paul Hewitt as a candidate or as a guy that we'd love to have down at St. John's. Not going to happen. He's going to stay right where he's at.
Schencher on the inbounds play, and Luke Schencher showing quickness inside.
Well, he shows quickness, Mike, but a breakdown defensively by North Carolina. Lack of communication.
Long three, off target. Schencher diving, trying to keep it alive. Bounced off of May or Georgia Tech. And Schencher is asking for the call. He won't get it.
You know, Felton misses that open three. That's been the dilemma with him. I really believe he's got to come back to school and work on that perimeter game as Schencher gets a layup.
3 points and 5 rebounds for the big man.
Who will be cut next?
Welcome back. Couple of good games going on. Iowa State, Oklahoma State, 7-point balls. Oklahoma State pushes it up. Look at Ivan McFarland underneath. Lays it up, lays it in. Lead stays 7 with 3:30 left to play. Meantime, a little distance between Kentucky and Georgia. Now 64-55. Iowa and Michigan underway.
All right, thanks a lot, Carl. Back here, we're tied at 7. Georgia Tech and North Carolina. Luke Schencher with 3 points out of the gate pretty quickly. You know, at one point of the season early on, he was the most criticized player on the Georgia Tech roster. So much so that one day Paul Hewitt had to phone a sports talk radio station and tell the host to back off.
Back to action, and the basket by McCants.
You know, you talk about star power. When you look at North Carolina, McCants, you know, leads the league in scoring. You got rebounder. Leading the rebounding is May. And in assists, you got Felton. So all 3 guys lead in their categories.
And that's never happened in the ACC,
wow,
where 3 different guys led in those 3 categories. It just tells you the quality of the starting 5 that North Carolina team has. Their problem has been depth.
Well, you know, McCants right now, he's got 1,132 points coming into this game. That's 50 fewer than Michael Jordan had in his first 2 years. But when Jordan played, there was such balance on the club and moved the ball. It wasn't a situation like where McCants gets a little bit more of a green light.
Jack Emanuel will be called for a foul as Muhammad comes into the ball game and is fouled. And let's go back to that soundbite from Paul Hewitt on the criticism of his big
One day I
center.
was riding to work, and I had some guys bashing him. He had a subpar game. And I just called him and just told him, I said, you guys are way off base. It was very early in the season, and Luke has gone on to make that phone call look very good because he has played very well. He's arguably the most improved player in the league. He's certainly the most improved player on our team.
Paul Hewitt is absolutely correct. And Ismail Muhammad, who just doesn't shoot the ball outside. He can't hit much of anything from out there. He's a slasher, hits a jump shot that gets Georgia Tech back even with Carolina, and May showing his range.
May wide open from up on top. Schencher sitting in the 3-second area. But it was a great pass by Schencher that created the opportunity for Muhammad. Going down to the post and bringing it back out to him. He's an explosive athlete.
Muhammad bumped by Manuel. That's going to be a travel call.
Georgia Tech got some outstanding recruits coming in. Paul Hewitt did a great job, and he was an assistant at Villanova as well in the recruiting wars.
Scott beats the press. Clarence Moore, number 42, is in for Georgia Tech. Paul Hewitt can go quite deep in that roster.
Yeah, he's got a very deep bench. He's not afraid to play a lot of guys. North Carolina very restricted. Basically a team limited in depth.
And right now, Felton is not in there, so they really don't have a point guard. McCants will try a long jumper. Scott is trying to play it, but that's not his strong suit.
Well, remember, Felton went down with that injury against Duke. Certainly hurt them in that game. Nice ball movement. You got to catch that ball. He can score. I'll tell you one thing. Bynum's got great scoring ability.
Yes, he does, and he is tough, too. He's not afraid to go in there. Muhammad maneuvers his way until he finds an opening.
And that's when we talk about athletic ability. Most people could never have gotten that shot off in the air.
May trying to get Spencer out further away from the basket, has hit 2 straight jumpers.
I love what he said. Steve Kirshner was telling me to find SID. Somebody asked him about the NBA. He said, NBA? Nobody on our team should think about the NBA. We're not ready for the NBA. We got to all come back to college. I'm coming back. Oh, as he learned his lesson really well from his dad. As you watch Muhammad on the inside, the little ducking move. He's going to split 2. Then he's going to say, no, I'm going to go on the other side.
And he got away from the All-ACC defensive performer, Jackie Manuel, who just picked up his 2nd foul on the next possession. Shencher will get a breather, and Theodis Tarver, number 44, is in for Georgia Tech.
Well, Tarver had an injury earlier in the year, but he gives him an extra rebounder on the floor. Jackie Manuel played such great defense when we saw him against J.J. Redick.
Oh, he can just suffocate people.
Bynum is a driver, tough kid out of Chicago, played with Tony Allen in high school, played together. He's now starting for Oklahoma State.
Elder can't hit the jumper.
Williams does a great job utilizing the block out. Most kids do not block out. They just turn and go to the ball. Williams finds his man and blocks out Jawad Williams.
Check it. That was Muhammad and not Elder, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Muhammad.
McCants from way outside.
He can do that, my friends. He can flat out shoot the J.
Last 14 games, Rashad McCants averaging 22.5 points a game. Elder fires up an air ball.
And he did a good job defensively right there, challenging Elder, and that's been his one liability, playing on the defensive end, McCants.
Felton is back in there. They can ill afford to leave him out for very long.
Likes to drive. Bynum loves to drive with the basketball.
Knocked away, nearly stolen by McCants, who's putting out quite an effort defensively right now.
These both clubs really played tough against each other this year. Look at McCants. Just stares at him, gets a triple threat position, and tickles the twine.
And look how far that is behind the three-point line.
That's a big-time 3 right there. That's a 3 in any league, my friends.
18-11, Tar Heels, or 16-11. Tar Heels with the early lead in this game, 12-14 to go. Here's a double team.
Going to double up with May. You got to find the open man, bring the ball to the weak side.
Muhammad, so good as a driver.
Talked about Roy Williams making a transition from Kansas, where he averaged 28 wins a year. Look at the ACC here. Leaders in scoring.
And that last foul, Dick, was huge because it was 3 on Jackie Manuel. With 12-11 to go in the first half, their best defensive player has to go to the bench.
And they're not a deep basketball team to start with, so now you put a guy like that in jeopardy, and it takes away a lot of minutes.
Bynum couldn't find anyone to pass it to, so he fired and missed.
That shot right there.
Felton tried to get the miracle pass through, and it's out of bounds to Georgia Tech.
They retired his jersey down there in South Carolina in high school. Was such a sensation.
Sloppy start for North Carolina and Georgia Tech. The Heels up by 5. A championship week update coming.
Championship week's coverage continues. Georgia, Kentucky, 62-55. This will probably end most of the highlight packages. Kalena Azubuike goes baseline as Georgia fell asleep. Final score, Kentucky 69, Georgia 60. Oklahoma State now up by 7 on Iowa State. Free throws appeared to be hurting them, but not lately. Michigan by 2 over Iowa. We'll see you at the halftime of this game to get you the highlights of all of them.
I think that Michigan-Iowa game, Mike, the winner of that's going to have to beat an Illinois to remain in a hunt for an NCAA berth. Kentucky finally beats Georgia, lost to them twice during the year.
Here comes the double team. Rayshawn Terry picks up the loose ball, has it blocked at the other end. Here comes Georgia Tech back the other way. Muhammad If he develops some range on a shot, the kid's going to be a star.
Yeah, he's really got that unbelievable area that you can't teach. He's such an athlete, such a jumper, such a runner.
Foul away from the ball. Will go against Georgia Tech for a turnover. Today, championship week presented by 7-Up continues with games at 4:30 on ESPN. UAB against DePaul, a semifinal of the Kelly Tires Conference USA tournament on ESPN2 at 4:30. Stephen F. Austin, Texas San Antonio against in the Southland Conference Championship.
And I'll tell you what, tell me that's not a big moment for those kids in the Southland Conference to get a chance to play the big dance.
Jawad Williams with a runner in the lane, and it's 18-11 Carolina.
Williams really playing well defensively, rebounding, good offensive move to get the score. Hey, North Carolina played a lot better defensively. We've seen that improvement, I think, down the stretch of the year.
Yes, we have.
Starting to come in on that side of the floor.
And Georgia Tech is buying into it. They're only 4-12 so far with 5 turnovers. Schencher got a rebound, and there's a foul inside. Is it on Schencher? No, it's on Muhammad.
The guy that's on the sideline that can come up and give him a lot of points is B.J. Elder, who's been really quiet here today.
Tech has taken 6 3-point shots in this game and 0 for 6.
Yeah, haven't made one.
And they are a very good 3-point shooting team.
Very explosive. Put a lot of points on the board. Great transition team. North Carolina executing well in their half-court game.
Felton left alone. Got it.
Good execution right there. Made the extra pass from the interior out to the perimeter. And Felton knocked down the open jump shot.
Jack got it into Schencher, and Schencher will draw the foul from Jawad Williams.
See, if he works on the weight room all year, gets a little stronger physically, and take the ball up just a little quicker, he hesitates.
He already made his hands better from a year ago. He had terrible hands last year. They throw a ball in, he couldn't hold on to it at all. Obviously, he has done a lot of work and improved dramatically.
I'll tell you one thing, Mark, he's really improved those hands, and if he gets a little bit stronger physically, he'll be a major force next year.
Yeah, actually, Dick, what he did was up his bench press about 45 pounds. He'd been working out with former Georgia Tech star Malcolm Mackey, who also played in the NBA, and he got his conditioning guys to the point where he ran a 5:40 mile during their conditioning test. So Luke Schencher realizes what's happening with his body, and he's getting it to where it needs to be. Back to you.
Tell you what, Mark, you find a guy who's 7'1", who can run a 5:40 mile. You have somebody who's a pretty darn good athlete.
That's not bad. 5'4", that's a great.
I used to do better than that.
What about now?
Now? I drive a mile in 5:40.
No, I've driven with you.
It stops in North Carolina, 10-0 run. It's 21-13. Scott has that range. McCants wide open.
Nice
Rebound. Basket in the foul.
What a great fake.
Nobody bought McCants out.
And then he utilized the ball fake really well, and the head fake, and got himself free for a layup. For you young kids out there, take a look right here at McCants. Look at the little fake, the ball fake. Oh, I left something on the ground. Oh, McCants with the score. This guy can be so good. He can low post you. He can post inside. So effective. I think he's the best post player and from the guard spot in America.
And he has done so much more of that in the second half of the year. Nice step out by Felton. Nearly a steal by Scott. And then Lewis tries to get fancy and has it knocked out of bounds.
8 quick points by McCants. Having a big second year. You know, he really played poorly against Kentucky. Didn't really do the things the coach wanted. Took him out of the game. Sent him a message loud and clear. But he learned. He responded in a positive way. Boy, Williams has brought a buzz back to North Carolina. He's going to have, there's no question, this team next year is going to be dynamite with the recruits coming in. He just knows how to win. The man just knows how to win.
Well, he did everything at Kansas except win a national championship.
Well, four Final Fours, 14 consecutive years in a big dance. Came back home. It's tough to say no the second time.
It's a longtime assistant to Dean Smith during the halcyon days of North Carolina that, of course, lasted for a long time.
There's no question he sat on that sideline for 10 years, for a decade, next to Dean Smith. I think you'll learn a little bit sitting next to him. I mean, he's got a great book out now called The Carolina Way, which is all about leadership.
This is a double dribble on Felton. He'll turn it over with 9:44 to go first half. Heels leading by 11 over the Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets don't have that bounce to their step that we saw
No,
against Duke. Am I wrong? Or
No.
that's just what I see here. I don't see that bounce to that step. Oh,
Here's
look at
Phil
Phil Ford.
Ford, the legendary point guard who's an analyst on the North Carolina radio network. Doesn't like to see point guard turn the ball over.
Well, he bleeds Carolina blue as Jared Jack will make him bleed a little bit more right there on that little drive in the lane. I say he's the best point guard I've ever seen on a college level.
I couldn't agree more. When they went to the four corners and Phil Ford was out there in no man's land, game was over. McCants missed the hanger. Georgia Tech is explosive. They can get right back in this.
Got to get some looks from Marvin Lewis to shoot that three. He and Elder are very capable.
There's Elder. Missed again.
He had a big game against North Carolina when they beat North Carolina. He's 0 for 3 right now. He had 5 consecutive threes in a row for Paul Hewitt. Oklahoma State rolling on. Eddie Sutton taking 4 schools to the big dance. Over 700 wins. What a job he's done at Oklahoma State.
McCann. Great move to get by McHenry.
I'll tell you, if you could drive like that, you can play the post like he can, and combined with his range as a shooter, he could be unstoppable as a scorer.
10 points by Rashad McCants, who averages nearly 20 a game. McHenry was open, goes baseline block by May. Schencher kept it alive. And almost lost Jack. Nice save.
May's the only guy in the ACC to have 20 rebounds in a game, and he did it twice.
McKenna, baseline jumper, got the roll. Dick, I was looking at stats last night. One of the most remarkable things I ever saw. You mentioned his 21 rebounds. He has 2 20 career rebound games. You know how many Billy Cunningham had? 12.
Wow.
Billy Cunningham had 12 20 rebound games.
Billy Cunningham was the kangaroo kid
That's
out of
right.
Erasmus High School. Erasmus High School out of Brooklyn. The same high school that he went with. You know who he went to high school with? If you look at Paul Hewitt?
No.
You'll never guess. You'll never guess.
I'm not.
Funny girl. Barbara Streisand. Yeah. I wonder if Billy Cunningham tried to date her when they were in high school.
You'd have to ask Billy or Barbara. If I knew, I wouldn't tell you. 26-17. The Heels, who are ranked 19th, against the Yellow Jackets, who are ranked 18th. 2 of 5 top 20 teams in the ACC.
I'm telling you, Mike, North Carolina is my dark horse team when I look at the NCAA field. I really believe if there's any team out there, you don't want to see that name North Carolina next to you. They're not going to be certainly a top 3 seed, and to me, they're going to be a real dangerous team.
Scott out of the corner, too strong, chased down by B.J. Elder. And his pass, too strong for Jack, recovered by Felton.
Georgia Tech played much better in that game against Duke. They were much more effective offensively and defensively.
Jawad Williams, Sheldon, or Schencher may have bothered him from behind, but Williams hangs in there, got the rebound and the follow.
Jawad Williams really playing well, active on the glass, defensive boards, as well as the offensive boards. If Georgia Tech's going to win this game, B.J. Elder's got to get going. He and Marvin Lewis got to start making some threes.
Elder's being guarded by Rayshawn Terry.
Yeah, Terry getting some minutes now.
Elder and Lewis 0 for 4 from the floor so far.
Trying to shadow Elder everywhere he goes. Now he's trying to come along. Gets bumped. He gets bumped 4 times. So wait a minute, I'm playing basketball. Look at this guy bumping me. I tell you, it's amazing if you keep your eye on a player away from the ball.
Yeah,
so many
watch
people
one guy.
just focused on the basketball. You watch the action away from the ball.
Elder will go to the free throw line. He is 6th in the ACC in scoring, 8th in field goal percentage, 9th in free throw percentage. Made 2nd team ACC, the junior out of Madison, Georgia.
Well, the first team was McCants, Hodge, Pickett, Duhan, and Gray. Second team was Reddick, Elder, Melvin, and May and Williams. Sheldon Williams. You don't see the name Daniel Ewing on any one of those 3 teams. I'll tell you what, if there's 15 players better than him, then you got yourself a dynamite league.
7:26 to go in the half. It's 28-19 North Carolina.
so they don't come with little toys.
On Shencher.
He laid some big streaks, man.
Felton, great movement.
Oh, that can't be for real. Are you serious? Mr. Fallon, are you serious?
And that's the way we called it in the moment. Tremendous play by Raymond Felton. 28-19. Welcome back to Greensboro, everybody. Mike Patrick, along with my Hall of Fame nominated partner, Dick Vitale. Mark Jones is with us. He's so good looking, I'm sure he was nominated for something. But this is the ACC quarterfinals, a day we look forward to all year long.
Oh, it's special. I think this year the ACC is going to really have special recognition in the NCAA tournament. I think we're going to see 7 teams out of this conference get in. I really believe that Florida State's going to get the nod because of the toughness of this conference. In the last 2 years, there's only been 4. And you mentioned Mark Jones and his good looks. I only wish I had his looks and his clothing.
Just those. McCants lost it on the way in. Elder reached in, or Jared Jack reached in and just got a piece of it, enough to mess up the timing.
Georgia Tech's got to go on a little spurt right now. They've been a little bit flat. North Carolina certainly has had dominance here early. Paul Ewing really trying to egg them on, but they got to get a little spurt going here.
Georgia Tech only has 6 field goals so far in this half. Jack trying for
He got
7.
fouled.
Yes, he did. He got flattened. Lewis comes up with it. Lewis with a runner.
He can shoot the ball, Marvin Lewis. Very capable. That's a deuce. Shot the medium range jump shot. Previous possession, I thought he got fouled.
And that's his first basket. 28-21. McCants. Rebound to Tarver.
Tarver gives him an extra body. Had a knee injury earlier in the year.
Moore, he's got range too, and Moore hits the 3.
He wanted it, baby. He said, get me the ball a little bit more. My name is Moore. I want it more.
They can get points in bunches. That was their first three-pointer in 9 tries in this game.
That could give him a spark right there to play by Moore. He's very active. Got a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm.
May working on Tarver.
Nice pass.
Wide open. Terry with a miss. Noel tried to keep it alive and couldn't. Moore did a great job of screening him off so he couldn't get to it. And Noel saying something to Tarver.
I tell you, Moore really playing well, giving him a lot of energy as Mark Jones is with the McCants family.
Shot with 10 points in the ball game, a wonderful year this year, leading scorer in the conference. How much do you think a change in scenery on the bench new head coach has had with his effect in his play?
It's had a tremendous effect with his maturity of play increased tremendously, and he's an asset to the team. I just think he's become a better all-around player.
Dad, James, Rashad has always been known as a very fiery, feisty type of player. Some people kind of questioned last year anyway his attitude. Has he harnessed that at all? He seems to be a lot more productive.
Well, I don't really think he had an attitude. He just liked to win. And people want to interpret that into something else. And he's doing exactly what he's been able to do all along, play basketball. I mean, I haven't seen any problem in this game since he's been playing, if you ask me.
I asked you a moment ago, is he coming back next year? You said definitely yes. Did you mean it?
Yeah, he'll be back.
There you have it, guys. Back to you.
That's great news, I'll tell you. Proud mama and papa, they should be proud because he has matured. I like the word his mom utilized. Maturity has been added to his game.
And the officials during that last break talked to several players as Felton hits the 3. Duke Edsel, Leslie Jones, and Jamie Lucky saw it getting way too physical. Guys yapping at each other and throwing forearms, and they told him to knock it off.
And that's really a good bit of officiating. Gather it before something happens out there. Big 3 by Felton in the last possession.
Muhammad, what a great drive.
That's a super move, Mike. Going down the lane, whirling. I mean, spinning in the lane, using his left hand. He's a lefty, obviously.
Look at the quickness of Felton. Boy, you just can't press him. He blows by everything.
And when he's making the three-point shot, he is just so effective.
And Muhammad playing defense will be called at the other end of the court. That will be the second foul on Muhammad.
As Muhammad goes between the legs, he's going to spin in the lane. And there he take it up strong, going to the right, using the left hand. That's a strong hand. You know, they're really nervous down there at Georgia Tech. They're waiting anxiously for the word from Randolph Morris, a 7-footer. Will it be Georgia Tech or will it be Kentucky? That is the choice. The young man's narrowed it down to both those schools.
McCants at the line with that sweet stroke. As a kid, McCants would pretend to be Grant Hill. Little would he know that he would end up 8 miles away from Grant Hill's campus at the bitterest rival that Grant Hill ever had at North Carolina.
I'll tell you, that's not a bad guy to emulate, Mr. Grant Hill. That's also Lou Aldang's favorite player. What a classy guy. Run a little half-court trap.
Schencher back in there to Lewis. And Lewis, the pull-up jumper, got it, and he knew it. Lewis was headed down court when that ball was at its apex. He wasn't waiting.
And we said they'll get back in the game and start making some threes, and that's exactly what's happened right now.
Williams trying to get by Schencher. And Schencher has done a really nice defensive job. Elder is called for a push-off on the rebound against Noel.
I'm going to tell you who gave him a big lift. The kid Moore when he hit that three.
Watch the reaction on the jump shot. He is going down court before that ball got there. He knew it was in the hole.
Yeah, he felt it. He was in a rhythm. He's just a great shooter. If he gets open, he's going to count.
Noel will go to the line. Noel, a critical player for this club, a 6'6 sophomore. When May gets in any foul trouble or gets tired, he's got to come in and play the post at 6'6".
Kid they utilize in a lot of positions. He's very valuable. It's a nice
feed from Lewis to Schencher.
Great look inside. Schencher wide open. A breakdown defensively by North Carolina. No communication.
7.7 rebounds for Schencher. Pass ahead to Lewis, and he's fouled by Felton.
You know, all of a sudden you see that spark, and it all happened with the energy that was generated by, I thought, when Moore came on the floor. I really believe he gave him that energy. Look at Lewis right here, a little two-man game. He said, watch me dish the rock, baby. He made like a great passer to get the ball inside. He made like Jared Jack. Look at Schencher. I wish I had his looks, man, and that hairdo. Wow. I just wish I had hair.
Felton called for the foul. Lewis will go to the line. And Georgia Tech, with that explosion, has cut the lead back to 1. And Roy Williams really upset about that last call.
You know, you said it so well, Mike. They're such an explosive team. Is Roy certainly not happy in that last possession? What a job he did at Kansas. He had an incredible year after year. 27, 28, 29, 30. The only thing missing in the resume was the national championship.
Lewis hits them both. We're tied at 33. 16-5 run for Tech. Felton a mile outside. Misses the shot. A foul will be called against North Carolina. A blocking foul called on Jawad Williams.
Yeah, that was a poor shot right there by Felton right there. Shot the ball too quickly. The Moore jump shot I thought was big. I thought the key play in the game thus far for Georgia Tech. Right here. There it is. The guy with the headband. Tickling the twine. Look at the energy. And then he provided a lot of enthusiasm to the club, and they got a bounce back that we saw against Duke.
Now, you wish you had his hair. That's a lot of hair.
If B.J. Elder gets going, then it'll be a nightmare for North Carolina.
Schencher, nice dish. May will be called for the foul. Schencher is doing it all. He's blocking shots or altering shots, scoring, getting rebounds, and dishing out assists.
Doing a great job executing now in their half-court game. There's the pass inside. There's the cut without the ball. He makes like a little quarterback with that handoff. Right. Looks like a quarterback. Man, could you see him in the tee? Line it up behind the center? Wow. I think some defensive ends would be thirsty, man, like you can't believe. Hey, you're a football expert. Why did my Bucks let John Lynch go? John Lynch?
That was so disappointing to me. John Lynch has been a great player for a long time, and I think when safeties get into their 30s and the first sign of injuries, Dick, I think people want to cut them loose. And maybe what happened. I hope John Lynch lands with somebody. I think he has plenty of football left in him. He's a great guy.
Oh, I used to love watching him play with the Bucks.
May with a loose ball rebound. Tech by 1. 3:39 to go first half. The crowd has been re-energized.
They got to get some touches for May. May was so effective early in the game.
We talked about that burst. Tech has scored 19 points in only 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, they're explosive. They're one of the teams in America that just quickly can light it up.
They isolate McCants. McCants bothered by McHenry, that great defensive presence.
This guy here is strong with the basketball. Find him when he's attacking the goal.
Elder, nice pass to Schencher. May came out on the double team, and Elder knew that Schencher would be open if he wheeled to the basket, and he did. Felton with a runner.
Felton in the 3-second area. This is the kind of game we thought we were going to see. Schencher moving well without the ball. Hey, I wonder if that radio station was blowing steak to the guys. If there was, leave the kid alone.
Elder out of the corner, and B.J. Elder, who has been so quiet in this ballgame, hits his first three for 5 points, and Georgia Tech is up by 4.
White told him to slow down right now, gave him a set play, but they like to execute as he talked to Felton.
Both coaches love to run most of the time. They are up-tempo style guys.
And they got those kind of players that
Yes,
can play that style. Like kids that really love to run, baby, run.
Justin Bolander, a freshman, getting some rare minutes for North Carolina. He's number 22. May, tough shot, won't go. Schencher with another rebound, and the big guy has 8 in the first half.
Get it into Schencher right now.
Elder. And give credit to Schencher for that. He screened off the middle of that lane. Nobody was going to touch B.J. Elder.
Yeah, he did a great job using his body. He set the screen that created the opportunity in the lane for B.J. Elder. You watch him on the inside. Now watch Schencher right here. Freeze it. Right there. He screens. He sets that screen in the lane, and he's able to get to the basket. B.J. Elder with the score.
24-7 run for Georgia Tech.
There's B.J. Elder with the free. I thought the Schencer did a great job screening. Boy, Hewitt's got himself a club that enjoys playing with one another. Plays the game at a fast pace. The Ramblin' Wreck crowd loves it.
Dick, when I talked to Paul Hewitt yesterday, I asked him what he thought the state of his team was right now. He said, we are playing our best basketball. The defense is back. They had a little slump there defensively because of some missed shots on the other end. They were overreacting to it. But the defense is back, and that's what keys his ball club.
Well, you know, the last 2 games had 2 good wins. That went on a roll to beat Duke to end that 41-game win streak at Duke, and then they had to win over a good Florida State team.
143 and counting in this first half.
Well, Carolina, when they got to go into their bench, that's when problems occur.
Felton. Bolander. Oh,
there's our guy.
By Moore.
There's my guy, Moore. I'm telling you, he provides a lot of energy, even
Shot
in the
clock still running. It's down to 6. Felton fighting for his own rebound, and Felton will pick up his 3rd foul.
And that is major, because now they got to go with Scott at the point guard slot. And that's not, as you said, Mike, his comfortable zone. I'm telling you, I like kids like Moore who come in and play with passion, play with feeling. Take a look right here. The guy with the headband, he's easy to spot. There's the block shot. And now he's going to hustle after the ball.
Boy, Bolander thought he had an easy one.
Not at this level, nothing's easy.
No.
He's a walk-on when you talk about Bolander.
Moore sat out all last year. Just didn't know if he wanted to play basketball anymore. Asked for a chance to come back and play, and to his credit, Paul Hewitt said, let's forget about what happened last year. Come on back and play. And now Felton has to go to the bench. And when we talk about Melvin Scott as a point guard, he had 71 assists and 61 turnovers. That is not acceptable at this level of play for a point guard, but it's not his fault either. He's a shooting guard.
He's a shooting guard. He keeps asked to do something that's not a comfort zone, but he's going to have to do it right now, and they're going to attack him a little bit.
And Georgia Tech has gone from down big to up 7.
Such an explosive team, Mike, as you talked about earlier.
May double team, wheels into the lane, draws the foul.
May was so effective earlier in the game, and then they forgot to go to him inside. He shot a couple of good jump shots as well as posted up on the interior. I know one thing. If I'm the AD and I'm the administration at Georgia Tech, I am going to lock up Paul Hewitt for a lot of years and give him a lot of cash and keep him right there in Atlanta. I'm not going to let this young guy get away because this guy has scored them all over.
Just contact Mr. Hewitt's agent. That would be Mr. Vitale, and 10% will go to the west coast of Florida. May at the free throw line hits that one to cut it to 42-36. 1:09 to go first half.
You know, Tech had 15 points in the first 12 minutes. The last 27.
We talked about their explosiveness, not only their ability to run the court, but their ability to block shots and make steals for easy ones.
Is that cool or what? I know. It's incredible.
The 450 horsepower Porsche Cayenne Turbo. There is no substitute.
Hey, Carmelo, your thoughts on the Shack?
Well, I'm kind of new, but the Shack is the best.
I bet you still have questions.
Yeah, but the Shack always has the answers.
What are you guys talking about?
What are you talking about?
Radio Shack's experts will help you with the latest in cool small electronics. So for simple answers to your electronics questions, come to your neighborhood Radio Shack.
Bottom line, the Shack will take care of you. Wonder if they can help with my free throw shooting.
Radio Shack.
There are people with a calling. Most serve 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. Earning money for college. Protecting their community. In the Army National Guard, you can.
Okay, one more time. Where do we stand?
Less travel, more video conferences.
Limit the cell phone minutes.
That's not good enough. We're not leaving this room unless we can cut something else.
Can they really keep us here?
What about all this stuff?
What stuff?
All this stuff. What does it cost to create all this? Time, effort, people.
How much?
It could be millions.
Millions.
With Jay Billis, I'm Carl Ravitch on the 7-Up Halftime Report. Duke does what it always does. They win another ACC tournament game. Cats get their revenge over Georgia. And finally, OK State puts away Iowa State. They're all #1 seed candidates. Who played the best?
Oklahoma State looked awfully good in the second half against Iowa State. They shot 65% in the second half. Joey Graham with a big ball game. He was hard to contain.
Highlights of those stories and a Gene Katie Back to Purdue update coming up.
All right, Carl, thanks very much. Georgia Tech, 5 players with 6 points or more in this first half. They lead by 5 as we have hit the 1-minute mark.
That third foul on Felton could be a big foul here in this game.
Elder bricks the 3 this time. Bolander with the rebound. Here comes Terry. Unfamiliar faces in there for North Carolina. May misses the little chippy.
Right now, you want to get a good shot in this sequence. You're up 5.
It's an 8-second difference between the shot and game clocks.
Do a great job screening and releasing McChencher.
And he's got more quickness than it looks.
Yeah, he really does. He knows how to drop step well. You can see he's very coachable.
Moore, nice move to get into the lane. Tried to get it to Schencher. Nice play by Bolander to knock it away to McCants.
Well, Brewer was too unselfish right there. Should have shot that ball.
11 seconds to go in the half. McCants is going to try to take Elder one-on-one. Great defense by Elder, and the foul with 4.3 seconds to go. Paul Hewitt just drops his head into his hands. He couldn't believe that call.
I'll tell you one thing, McCants did a good job with the head fake to be able to get into a foul situation.
Foul number 2 on Elder coming up on our 7-Up halftime report with Carl Ravitch and Jay Billis, the Kentucky Revenge. Cowboy Up, you bet, and Okafor update. What's going to happen with all those muscle spasms? McCants hits the free throw. Rashad McCants with a big first half. 13 points. He's hit all 4 from the line.
He's been ineffective all year. Talked to Dr. Doherty, Brad Doherty, our guy who had back problems last year, or I mean throughout his career, and he told me, I'll tell you, the pain that Okafor's going through is very, very severe because he went through the same.
McCants can cut the lead to 3 and does. Perfect from the line. Well, we wouldn't expect much else from the first half between these teams. They have split, and it's because of that Georgia Tech burst. First 12 minutes, only 15 points. The last 8, 27 points. They've only missed 2 shots. And nearly had a couple of more at the buzzer. Our time score, 42-39. Let's check in with Mark Jones. Mark.
Yeah, guys, I'm with Coach Paul Hewitt. Coach, slow start. How were you guys able to get your offense cranked up in the second part of the first half?
I thought our defense picked up. They were scoring way too easy in the first, 6-8 minutes there. Our defensive intensity picked up and got us some easy baskets.
Are you guys making a concerted effort to get Luke Schencher involved offensively? He seems to be ubiquitous, both ends.
He's really focused today. He's playing very well. He's been strong on the boards, and when we throw the ball into him, he's been catching it strong and making good decisions.
Defensively, what do you guys have to do to slow down Carolina's transition?
Well, that's just it. We got to slow him down. Felton especially gets out going in transition. It makes it tough for us to stop him. And then when we got to start helping, that creates easy baskets for him.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Mark. Georgia Tech rallies from 11 down to take the halftime lead. Now the 7-Up halftime report. Carl Ravitch and
Action, there is fat, some is good, some is bad. And the joke is rather sad, that it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
we're in the quarterfinals of what could be the greatest ACC tournament ever. Georgia Tech with a first half lead, 42-39 over North Carolina. Dick, let's take a look at the game track.
Right now, you talk about the Heels. They got a real hot start. Shot 50%. They were 12 for 24. And then it was the role players. I mean, everybody got involved. Schencher did all the little things, set screens, scored inside. And I thought the big shot, the key moment was Clarence Moore knocking down a big 3. I thought he gave them the energy and the spark they needed to give them that impetus where they really went on a roll there in the second part of that first half.
I want to give a little tip of the cap to Schencher because he had 9 points, 10 rebounds, 1 block shot, must have altered 4 or 5 others in the first half. That's quite a half.
Yeah, he really did a great job in the first half, especially after the early start by May. He did a great job defending them in the second part.
Mark, what do you have?
Well, guys, Roy Williams, head coach of Carolina, came out of their locker room a few moments ago shaking his head saying, Mark, we have to get better shots offensively. We're going too much one-on-one, and defensively, we've been coached much better to defend the pick and roll than what we've shown. We show, recover. We're not doing it right now. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Mark. They just changed the out-of-bounds call. It will go back to Georgia Tech.
Sounded like he gave our guy, Mark Jones, a nice little coaching clinic on how to play the screen and roll. Wow, we have a little clinic going on, Mr. Jones. A lot of confusion right here. Duke Kessler going to take charge with Leslie Jones. We'll check the clock to make sure the clock is synchronized. Mr. Lucky right there. As you look at the first half numbers right here.
Georgia Tech shoots over 50% with a 3-point edge at the free throw line. The rebounding numbers are even, and the 3-point field goals virtually even. McCants had a big first half offensively.
He had a great start in the first half.
Schencher takes it all the way in, and it's an offensive foul on Schencher.
Schencher going to the basket right there. Defense rotated over.
No 7-1 guys should be able to drive 20 feet.
He utilizes those elbows. I'll tell you, it takes it over. Defense rotated right over, and there was the charge.
Felton is back in there with his 3 fouls. Jackie Manuel also picked up 3 in the first half. Manuel will not start the second half for the Carolina. May's offense virtually disappeared after he found out he couldn't shoot over Schencher, but that time he drove, got the basket, and drew the foul.
I tell you, McCants did a great job giving the rock up right there. He got a screen from his buddy. Watch the screen. Freeze it. That's that screen, and now he's going to release after the screen. And there it is, around his back, the little bounce pass with the left hand. Good job right there. Poor job of defending that screen and roll. Didn't show, didn't release, step out on the man.
May's first field goal in 14 minutes. We are tied at 42. Jack trying to get by Felton into Schencher. Nice pass out to Jared Jack. A little baseline runner. Threw it up short-armed. And it's out of bounds to North Carolina.
Yeah, Jack should have just taken one extra dribble, exploded, had himself a layup.
I think he kept waiting for the defense to come, and nobody ever did.
Yeah, nobody arrived. Stepped out.
McHenry back in there for Georgia Tech. He's working with 3 fouls. 5 ties, 2 lead changes. We'll probably have double that in the second half. McCants, beautiful reverse.
That's a great example of moving without the basketball, adding a lot of versatility to his game. Earlier this year, I thought he became one-dimensional, want to shoot nothing but threes.
McCants 16, it's a 9-0 run. May with a rebound.
Good things happen when the ball touches May as well on the inside.
Felton always trying to penetrate. May, 18-footer. McHenry with a rebound to Jack. B.J. Elder blocked from behind by May. Centre got it and put it in.
There, you hang around the basket. The big guy comes up with the loose ball and converts it. Jack and Felton, what a matchup at the point guard slot. This conference loaded with outstanding point guards. If I were recruiting, the first thing I'd do, man, is find the best point guard I can find.
Gotta have one.
You can't win without him. He's the engine. He's the catalyst. He's the guy that makes you go, the orchestra leader.
McCants got the basket and the foul.
That's a scorer, man. That's super strength to be able to make that happen in that lane.
And the foul was on McHenry, his 4th. That is huge because he's the guy that's got to try to slow down McCants.
Look at the strength inside now. With people hanging right on him, he's able to get that shot off. I mean, he's scoring in a variety of ways, man. He's like Baskin-Robbins. He's got all kinds of varieties.
Got every flavor.
Yes,
McCants,
sir.
who averages 19-9, has 18 as McHenry has to sit down. Picks up his 4th foul, a minute 52 into the second half.
Mike, remember earlier in the year we had them, he was one-dimensional. He wanted to shoot nothing but threes, McCants. Now he's scoring in a variety of ways, moving without the ball, posted inside, driving.
And you've said for a long time, you thought if he could really pick up his scoring average if he actually go inside more. Jared Jack with a drive. He'll get the bucket and draw the foul.
That's what Jack should have done in a possession before. Just go right to the basket with authority. He really explodes here, uses his great quickness, protects the basketball, seals it off with his body.
Sean May picks up his 3rd.
Now you think about the point guard. Gilchrist certainly becoming solid for Maryland. Chris Paul at Wake Forest. I mean, there's a host of them. There's Drew Hahn, as you take a look at the Star Watch right here. Jack and Felton.
Exactly where you would expect them to be.
What a 2-man game being played here.
McCants really feeling it. That one rimmed out, and Moore with a rebound. Nearly threw it away. Jack, beautiful crossover.
One area they've done really well, Georgia Tech defensively, is getting back in transition.
Jack with a runner down the lane, faked the pass to Schencher and got it himself. Tech's back on top.
Hey, Jack, he can do it in many ways, man. I'll tell you one thing, Jack is a guy very versatile as well.
This could be an exceptional second half between these teams.
And the winner gets a shot in the semis against the Duke Blue Devils.
McCants backs off, takes the shot. Jack with a rebound.
Little one-on-one right there. Didn't get anything within the realm of the offense. Get some touches inside. Schencher's got to get a touch inside. Comes out, lays the screen, and now he'll release. Once he lays the screen, he'll release from it.
Elder wheels into the lane, missed the shot, but draws the foul. Let's go to Mark Jones.
Yeah, guys, we were talking about the emergence of Jared Jack in the last few moments of this game. Jared Jack says, only imagine what this team would be if we still had Chris Bosh. And the two of them have a very tight bond. In fact, the two of them talk about twice a day, I'm told. And Jack says that it's gotten to the point now where his mother is getting on him about his monthly $400 phone bill.
Hey,
now,
wait a minute.
Guys, I know a guy in the NBA can afford that, but Jared Jack's a sophomore.
But wait a minute. If he's his buddy, Mark, his buddy's supposed to say, hey, Jared, I'll take care of that. Oh, he can't. He can't. That's a violation. That's a violation.
I spoke to Mom before the game. She said, that boy's going to have to stop getting on that phone as much. Back to you.
Well, you got to go by Mom's rules no matter what.
Mom always rules, no doubt about it. Oh, do I miss my mother, Michael?
Dick, I tell you, it's tough for everybody that goes through it. Tech now on a 7-0 run. This has been a game of streaks.
North Carolina, one of the premier running teams in America, really hasn't been able to get their transition game going because of a great job that they've done Georgia Tech getting back.
Jackie Manuel back in there for North Carolina. May kicks it back outside to Scott. 12 on the shot clock, and he fires too strong. Schencher. Oh, what a game he's having. 11 points, 11 boards for the Aussie.
He's learning how to utilize that great size he possesses. Wide open.
Nice kick out to Elder. Jared Jack set it up, penetrated down the lane, sucked the defense to him, and kicked it out.
You can see that coming all the way.
Felton, an incredible crossover. May got the loose ball and scored.
With May hanging around the basket, but what a great play by Jack when he got into the lane, knifed into the 3-second area. Elder was there, squared his body, and had the open three.
Two very athletic, very quick teams going at each other. Elder for 2 in a row, can't hit it. Schencher saved it somehow and tipped out of bounds by Manuel.
North Carolina rotating out of the man into the zone defensively.
Luke Schencher having the game of his life for Georgia Tech as they try to advance here in the ACC.
Bacardi Silver Raz, premium malt beverage. 5% alcohol by volume. All the passion of raspberry. Your night just got more interesting.
Aren't you gonna let me in? Friends call me king.
Let me guess, you're looking for a queen?
Don't cut a brother no slack, baby. This is America. All you need is a dream and the will to make it happen. Here I come.
DMX. Never Die Alone. Rated R. March 26th. Only in theaters.
Any driver can recognize their own car. But how many cars can recognize their driver? Smart key technology from Lexus.
Last week on Dream Job.
It is time to see how they work with the partner. I'm getting quickie with it.
Everything was falling for LeBron James.
Indeed it was, Mike.
Some of you people think that you're probably breezing through. Well, you're not.
You slugged a lot of lines out there. You had a rough go.
You have an interview subject there. You have questions you want answered. Make him answer.
This is SportsCenter. It's not Seinfeld. First to go was Quiggs, then Lori. This week, with only 8 remaining, 2 more will be cut, and your vote counts. Dream Job, Sunday at 10 on ESPN. Who will be cut next?
Georgia Tech with a 54-49 lead, 15:42 to go in the ballgame Sunday. An ABC NBA doubleheader starting at 12:30 Eastern. First the 76ers and the Pistons, then Tim Duncan and the Spurs against Chris Webber and the Sacramento Kings. Some of you will see the Knicks and the Bucks in regional action. Then Sunday on ABC, beginning at 12:30 Eastern, ABC home of the NBA Finals.
Well, there's a Hall of Famer when you talk about certainly Larry Brown doing a great job.
Luke Schencher, 2 of the biggest games he's had this year. 18 points, 8 rebounds against Duke. 9 points, 11 rebounds against North Carolina with 5 blocks. But today he has been nearly perfect. 11 points, 12 rebounds. That 12 rebounds ties his career high.
Really playing great. There he is, just on call. He heard you, Mr. Patrick, and there he is, scoring inside with a jam. I mentioned Larry Brown, coaching now the Pistons, former North Carolina star. One of the real guys, loved by Dean Smith.
56-49. Felton tries to get inside, fouled by Bynum.
Trying a little isolation right there, one-on-one. Now watch Schencher.
He is a guy who really plays within himself. He knows what he can and can't do.
You know, Georgia Tech opened the season 12-0 by margin of victory, 25.6. And in those wins were a blowout over Texas Tech, blowout over Connecticut. Then they finished 8-8 the rest of the way.
Jackie Manuel slashes inside to make it 56-51. And Bynum can't control the pass out of bounds.
Every time you think Georgia Tech might get a little bit away from them, North Carolina, too talented, comes back with a big play. Place has been quiet most of the afternoon.
Really haven't seemed to totally get into it yet. Not many turnovers in this game, particularly with the pace that they have played. Clear out from McCants. Now here's the double team.
Georgia Tech defensively is really making North Carolina have to play 5-on-5. Certainly that's a great way of getting ready for the NCAA tournament, because in the NCAA tournament, games become a little bit more 5-on-5. Teams get a little bit more conservative. Coaches reduce their substitution pattern a little more. You better be able to execute in a half-court game. They win 6 games in a row when it gets to the NCAA.
Marvin Lewis picked up that last foul, his second. McCants against Schencher.
He bothered him. He bothered him.
Yes, he did.
He bothered him with that size.
He's altered half a dozen shots in this game. Lewis for 3. Rimmed out. Here comes McCants.
This is what they do well. Get it to May.
And he's blocked and fouled by Lewis. That'll be 3 on Lewis.
That's North Carolina at their best, when they're able to come off the glass with the ball, kick it out, get the lanes, get in transition. Made for a big guy, really runs well. Roy Williams is a master at teaching the transition game.
And he said that May is not in shape and won't be in shape until next year. He has to get by the stress fracture problems that he's had. It really prevents him from running an awful lot. And running is the way you get your endurance and your win. He just hasn't been able to do it.
I'll tell you what, he's still one of the premier post players in America. He's so effective inside. Good attitude. He gets turned down before the games. He listens to some music to get him going. And guess who he listens to? Michael Jackson.
All right.
Yeah, listens to Michael Jackson.
Got an old Thriller CD in there?
Got the CD playing as he's warming up.
Moore open. Got it to Schencher. Trying to go under the basket and does. Schencher finally misses a shot. Look at Felton. Noel had it blocked by Moore.
What a great penetration right there by Mr. Felton. He was like the 3D man. Drive, draw, and dish.
He just blows by people. He's incredibly fast.
Take a look at right now in this possession right here. Jared Jack, little backdoor cut, and then hangs in a lane, goes right down the gut of the defense. Now watch the penetration. He spots the open man. There's the kick out. Wide open for the 3. That's point guard play, my friends. Scoring and also finding the open man.
Noel had the pass slip right out of his hand to Mohammed. Elder for 3. McCants with a loose ball. May sets the screen for McCants.
Yeah, he wants that big screen. Then he becomes the most dangerous guy. Steps away from the screen.
May off balance in the lane, can't hit it. Schencher with another rebound.
Well, he's got those elbows up high.
13 boards for Schencher, and the injured player is B.J. Elder, who goes down holding his left shin. The 13 boards, by the way, a career high for Schencher, and this would be crushing for Georgia Tech to have their leading scorer, B.J. Elder, injured.
This time of the year, man, you can't afford to lose any key players. He rolled his foot right here. You saw it in that area there, number 1, B.J. Elder. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Looks like he's going to be able to walk it off. And I tell you what, those things hurt like the dickens at the beginning. But if you can walk off, you're going to be in pretty good shape, I think.
He's 3 for 10 right now. Certainly not having a great shooting night. He's got 12 points. So valuable to this team. He's such a guy that can put points on the board quickly. He had 5 threes in a row at a crucial time in a second matchup with North Carolina.
Now, one of the problems with an ankle injury like that, you come out of the ball game and the joint starts to get cool, and it makes it even stiffer.
They're going to rotate into the zone right now, North Carolina. Let's take a look right now how they started and how.
The lob to Muhammad, and Jared Jack with a pinpoint pass.
Jared Jack really doing it all. And Mr. Muhammad with the high-rising ability of Skywalker. Up, and away.
Jared Jack was third team ACC as a point guard. Manuel. Shencher with his 14th rebound, and he's fouled. And if that's on Jackie Manuel, that's his fourth.
Shencher kept the ball alive as well. Here comes a little highlight film. Look at Jack with the great vision. Throws it up. And there he is, way up and away. Jam City, Mr. Muhammad.
And nobody, Dick, is going to stop Muhammad once he gets airborne. He can jump over anybody.
They were devastating when I watched them on TV in a game against Connecticut, putting on the transition game. Fourth foul for Jackie Manuel. They got to attack Felton, try to get the fourth on him.
Lewis got it for three.
They got different weapons. That's a big three. See, the zone is susceptible to being able to shoot that three.
Georgia Tech's biggest lead. Felton comes back the other way, foul before the shot.
Dwight Williams trying to protect some players also by going to the zone like Felton. But they're a dangerous team because they can shoot that three and get in the gap. Working on that ankle right now.
Normal procedure is to cut off the tape and then tape it back tighter if possible.
And Dr. Patrick, I like that.
I've just seen it too many times.
I had to work yesterday with Dr. Phelps, who was diagnosing all the back spasms of Mr. Okafor.
Have you had back spasms?
Not really.
Awful. Just awful. And then you go with a stress fracture on top of it. You can understand why that young man was in a lot of pain.
I've had a lot of
hits them both.
I've had a lot of groin problems playing tennis.
I don't want to hear about that. 61-54. Georgia Tech, 12 and a half minutes left in this one. The winner will advance to play Duke in tomorrow's semifinals. Felton nearly had a steal.
Got our stage manager going bananas here laughing on that statement. You want to hear about my groin problems in terms of playing tennis.
I don't want to hear about your groin problems, and I seriously doubt that anybody else does either.
Does that hurt? I'm telling you, Mike, playing tennis.
But I guess I am going to hear about them.
It's like back spasms. Look at a play defensively by May. Step right in the passing lane.
Terry getting an unusually high number of minutes today.
Should have got it inside, right inside the May.
Williams looked low, couldn't find it.
He's got to be afraid of attacking the basket of a charge.
Felton left wide open, missed the three. May, offensive rebound. Stripped on the way up, they go to the floor. And it's a jump ball situation. Possession arrow gives it to Georgia Tech.
Pirates Moore really hustling and scrapping. Muhammad with that great athletic ability, explosive, high riser.
ACC fans, get in the game by logging on to the best of ACC.
Muhammad, it's showtime. Point to Muhammad for the highlights. And it's all just a little bit of mystery.
All cars have headlights to illuminate the road ahead. But Lexus has developed a headlight that actually rotates up to 15 degrees to reveal what's around the bend before you get to the bend. What kind of a difference can 15 degrees make? A very noticeable one.
If on one hand...
First there was one blade, then two, then three. But four blades? Give me a break, right? Wrong. The new Schick Quattro has the power of four blades and two conditioning strips, which makes Quattro unlike any other razor. And those four blades give you an incredibly close, smooth shave. So your 5 o'clock shadow shows up late. Four blades. Where will it stop? Here. Schick Quattro, the power of four.
How does it spread? Is it airborne?
Airborne is a possibility.
Is this an international health hazard or a military concern?
Both.
Are these things alive or dead?
We don't know.
Dawn of the Dead. Rated R. Starts March 19th.
Big 12, Texas Tech taking on Colorado in the quarters, up by 1. Texas Tech gets it to Mikey Marshall and the lefty with a sweet stroke, drains it 24-20. They've added another 3. It's 27-20. Meantime, LSU only up by 1 over South Carolina. We'll keep you posted on that game. Michigan now up 13 over Iowa with about 5 to play. That game on ESPN.
So many teams that have to win games in their conference tournament to get in. These are not 2 of them. Georgia Tech and North Carolina certainly locks for the next step.
Well, they're trying to win more than just trying to get in a tournament. They want to dethrone the Dukies from winning the 6th in a row.
Muhammad goes to the baseline.
Muhammad giving him some really a great lift offensively, attacking the basket.
10 points off the bench. He's hit 5 out of 6 shots. Georgia Tech now up by 9.
North Carolina's offense dominated by 3 players. Felton, McCants, and May.
Jawad Williams, nice touch on the turnaround jumper.
They got to get him involved a little bit more. And need a little help from some other people.
So they really need McCants to get hot again as well.
That's been the great asset of Georgia Tech. A lot of people contributing.
Jack, who made dramatic improvement from one year to the other. Lewis, nice bounce pass into Moore. And Georgia Tech is really cooking on offense.
Moore has really been a catalyst here. Made a couple of big plays.
Theodis Tarver is in the pivot for Georgia Tech, giving Schencher a breather. He certainly earned it. And Rayshon Terry lost the ball out of bounds.
Picked it up defensively.
Let's check in with Mark Jones. He's got an update on B.J. Elder.
Yeah, guys, we saw him leave the game a few moments ago. The result of a sprained left ankle. They cut off the old tape, retaped it, and the officials and trainers say that he is going to give it a try again. But though he was wincing in pain while walking it off a little bit on the sideline moments ago, but he is good to go back in.
All right, thanks, Mark. We have 10:42 to go in this game. I'm sure they'd like to see him in there to see if at least he can play a little bit.
You know, Elder's only been held below double figures 4 times the entire year.
Lewis had it blocked by McCants. Nice defensive work.
Last time Georgia Tech won this tournament was 93. That's when, wasn't it Hammond's had a great tournament?
Hammond, terrific forward. McCants working hard inside against Lewis. Williams. Nice rebound by Noel.
Noel really good off the bench. Gives him a big lift.
Terry clanks that one off the glass. Lewis will be called for a foul on McCants. That will be 4 on Lewis. McHenry already playing with 4 for Georgia Tech. North Carolina has had its own foul problem.
Look at right here. He's trying to deny McCants, trying to get him out of the post area. And he did. Chased him away from that low post where he's so effective.
Great balance again for Georgia Tech. 5 players in double figure scoring. Lewis goes out with his 4th. McHenry will come back in. He is playing with 4. And McCants will go to the line. He's had another sensational offensive game.
I tell you, when you talk about quality wins, you look at the resume of Georgia Tech. Victories over Duke, Connecticut, Texas Tech, Wake Forest, Maryland twice, North Carolina, Florida State. Pretty impressive resume.
Rashad McCants with 20, going for his 21st point and gets it.
So our buddy Bobby Clemens here, who they named the court after, he went to the NCAA tournament 9 straight years from 85 to 93. Since then, I've only gone twice, 96 and 2001.
Well, Bobby had some great players.
Did a great job while he was there.
Tarver gets a bucket. And Theodis Tarver only scores 1.5 points a game, gives them a little lift.
He's had a knee problem most of the year. They're getting such a lift off their bench.
Scott open for 3. Can't hit it. McCants. Oh, beautiful move.
He's doing everything he can. I'll tell you, trying to carry this club and keep him in the game.
Rashad McCants with 23.
He's a big-time prolific scorer, Mike.
He is that. Elder back in the ballgame, looked pretty good on that move, and draws a foul.
I hope all those kids stay in school. When you talk about Felton and McCants and May, I should look at the brackets. The winner here plays Duke. And then you got North Carolina State, Florida State winner going against the Wake, Maryland winner. Maryland had those 2 big wins at the end of the year that they needed. 7 being a magical number that really, I think, applied a knockout punch for a berth in the NCAA.
Elder at the line, hits the first. one of the top free throw shooters in the conference.
You know, when you debate, and it's a lot of times just a subjective feeling as to what is the best conference, I think everybody agrees almost unanimously the ACC being the best. And right after that, you got to talk the SEC certainly is outstanding. The Big East is outstanding, as well as the Big 12. To me, those are the four best, with Conference USA right there and the Atlantic 10 a lot better than people believe.
You could have 7 teams easily coming out of this conference to go to the NCAA at 7 and 9. Shencher, as you saw, is back in the ballgame. The lead has grown to 9, and time becoming dear for North Carolina. 9:04 to go.
I've been impressed with the way Georgia Tech has kept North Carolina away from the transition.
May walked, trying to get by Shencher at the baseline. And the big guy's defense, just by keeping his position and not trying to do anything out of the ordinary, has been very important. Yeah, and the foul story is really starting to pile up for these ball clubs. Manuel hampered most of the game with 4. Williams, May, and Felton all with 3.
North Carolina's got only 3 points thus far on a break. As you look at the foul trouble, Lewis with 4.
And a timeout by Paul Hewitt with 8:46 to go in the ball game.
That's amazing, Mike, when you think about only 3 points in transition for North Carolina.
That is. It's remarkable, and the lead is 9 for the Yellow Jackets.
Good game going on ESPN. It's become that way thanks to a 12-2 run. Iowa's right back in it. Here, Pierce launching a 3. They get a 16-win Iowa team. They get a 17-win Michigan team.
All right, Georgia Tech leading 69-60. Dick Vitale, you mentioned Tommy Hammond a few moments ago, so lo and behold, look who I came up with, Tommy. Back in 1985, you guys made it to the finals. Tell us about that game. You guys were on the short end of that decision.
I'll tell you what, it's kind of hard to believe that was 19 years ago, and I guess it means I'm getting old, but it was a good game. We came up and played against the finals against Duke. Had a pretty good game going. They just edged us out at the end, but I'll tell you what, it was a great, great memory.
Price, Farrell, Sally, yourself. You see any similarities between that year and this team?
They're very athletic. We were very athletic as well. So, and this team is very athletic. They lack a little size, and I think a little bit inside. Sally was a great force inside, a great shot blocker, pretty good score inside. Myself, Farrell, Mark Price was deadly from the outside, kind of the same way BJL and some of these guys are shooting it. So pretty similar, but a little bit different. Hopefully they can have a little bit better result than we did in '85.
From Georgia Tech to the NBA, a successful seasons there into drag race. And you still got some hot rods out there for us? Dick needs a quick escape after the game.
I tell you what, I can put him in my car and he'll have a good time. I guarantee you that.
All right. Thanks a lot for joining us. Hey, this Georgia Tech team running like a smooth, well-oiled car right now, guys.
Hey, Mark, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to call up Dan Spear, our boss, as Shencher scores inside, and get that guy an audition. He should be on TV, Tom Hammonds. Are you kidding me? Hey, I was saying 85, 93 when they won it, Dennis Scott. That was Dennis Scott's era.
That was Lethal Weapon 3, wasn't it? They were terrific. Moore that bounces off of a Georgia Tech foot and right to Jawad Williams. The play before that, what a great feed inside from Jarrett Jack to Shenser.
They went to Final Four in '91 when they had certainly Oliver and Anderson and Scott. That was the year that UNLV cut the nets down and blew out Duke, and the following year Duke beat them in the semifinals.
71-60, Georgia Tech, 7:48 left, their biggest lead.
Just a little bit of history repeating.
Though he is universally regarded as the best golfer on the planet, still, Tiger Woods went without a major in 2003.
She said yes!
Better 1 or 2? 2. Better 1 or 2?
2.
2 girls for every boy.
Nice glasses.
Unleash the Rocky Mountain cold taste of Coors Light. There are people with a calling. Most serve 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. Earning money for college. Protecting their community. In the Army National Guard, you can.
It's NCAA March Madness.
And Papa John's is part of the action.
Now, get a limited edition basketball and any 2-liter of Coca-Cola for just $5.99 when you buy any large Papa John's specialty pizza for just $10.99. That's a slam dunk.
America's #1 comedy is #1 with the nation's top critics. Starsky and Hutch is the comedy you've been waiting for. Ebert and Roper give it 2 thumbs up. Rolling Stone raves. It's hilarious.
Which one do you like? Oh, I've always had a thing for blondes. Good, because I'll take anything.
Starsky and Hutch. Rated PG-13.
Don't make your picks without watching ESPN on Selection Sunday. Chris, Digger, and Dickie V break down the big dance.
I love this action. I'm going for it.
Bracketology. Sunday at 7 on ESPN.
71-60 Georgia Tech. Tournament time, a perfect opportunity to embarrass yourself with what you're wearing. Look ahead to tonight. Julius Hodge and Marcus Melvin as North Carolina State will take on the brilliant Tim Pickett and Florida State, who, in a lot of people's mind, have to win tonight. Nick Kaner-Medley and Gary Williams will take Maryland against Chris Paul and Justin Gray in that brilliant backcourt for Wake Forest. McCants got a steal. But did he step out of bounds? Is that the call?
That's what Dugetzel's saying right now. Dugetzel pointing to the line.
Georgia Tech basketball, 7:46 to go in the game, and the Jackets up by 11. Trying to trap Jack, just too quick for it.
They really spread the court well, too. Put a lot of pressure on you with his penetration ability with their wing shooters. They get that 15, 17 feet apart. Very difficult to give help.
Doesn't look like Elder's have any problem with that ankle after they retaped it. DJ goes down the lane, a little hanger. Won't go. Shencher tried to keep it alive, but here comes Felton.
This is where he's at his best in transition.
McCants. Boy, and that's a dangerous foul. And McCants comes up, and it looked like he took a shot at Moore for that hard foul.
Little frustration right now. Little frustration. Thought he had himself a layup. He got bumped in transition. Here he is getting bumped. Goes down to the deck hard. And then, he grabs his shirt. He grabs it. He grabs his shirt.
Well, it was hard to tell whether Moore was trying to keep him from falling with hanging on to the shirt or if he grabbed him afterward. But either way, McCants didn't care for it.
So I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give you a little helping hand.
Yeah, stop helping me. 23 points, 8 out of 8 for the free throw line from McCants. He's been brilliant offensively.
Zebras jumped right in there quickly, doing a good job, I think, on a whistle today.
They are.
Jones, Etzel, and Lucky. He's still jawing away.
McCants trying to get the lead back to single digits. And does.
They got to make something happen with their defense, try to get a conversion in transition. North Carolina.
Nice move here by Paul Hewitt. He's going to get McHenry back in the ballgame and take Moore out so there are no more instant confrontations after that one. Elder trying to beat Felton.
Tech shooting 53%.
And that's been North Carolina's problem all year. People have gotten good shooting percentages against them.
They break down a lot of times after the second or third pass. They got to make more of a commitment in terms of playing the entire possession out. Boy, he had a dynamite defensive group when he had his gang at Kansas with Heinrich and Collison. You talk about two beautiful college players.
Jack being double teamed. Scott goes for the trap. Right now, 3 guards on the court for Georgia Tech, which makes them exceptionally quick. Elder works all the way under, tries to reverse, can't hit it. Nice outlet by May to Felton. Williams hangs in the lane, missed the shot. Follow again. Shencher nearly tipped it in.
What an unbelievable effort by Williams, and it came up empty. But what a great effort.
They had 4 looks at it, Dick, and couldn't finish. Schencher got the rebound. He has a career-high 16.
Williams really came up empty, but he gave a tenacious effort.
Bynum, who's very quick, goes to the baseline. Schencher, offensive rebound, and he's fouled.
I tell you, he's got those long, long arms, and he's utilizing them right now in that size. Keeping the ball alive. I tell you, Williams really gave a great effort. Roy Williams doing a heck of an effort, too, saying, good job, like your effort.
And Sean May has picked up his 4th personal foul.
Can't really worry about substituting now. You got to keep your best on the floor, down 9.
And he really has nowhere to go anyway.
Nowhere, exactly.
Schencher hits the free throw. What a day for Schencher. 16 points and now 17 rebounds. That's a career high.
Well, you and I, that's the second time we've seen him in the last 3 games, and he just keeps getting better and better. He was so effective against Duke, especially late in that game. When Williams got in foul trouble, he became the dominating player.
That's a big double-double, too.
Yes,
his 4th of the year. And McCants is going to sit down at the 6:16 mark. Maybe get him a short breather before the stretch run. Schencher, who has shown a nice touch from the free throw line lately as well. And there's the problem. Williams and May, big offensive guys, both have 4. And now Schencher will be called for a foul.
Mike, the story of this game is very simple. It's been the ability of Georgia Tech to make North Carolina play 5-on-5 almost exclusively in this game. They have reduced the transition game and minimized it. And you must do that when you play against an explosive team like North Carolina, who's so effective when McCants is running the court and Felton's got the ball in the middle of the break.
Well, when the opposing center has 17 rebounds, you're not going to be able to run very much.
You got to get the basketball to run. You're right, Coach. There's no question. Coach Patrick, member of the staff. I'm the assistant writing his tale.
No.
Well, let me say, I got to go with a host of guys Sunday. I got Coach Fowler. I got Coach Phelps.
Too many coaches spoil the broth. Remember that.
We got a 3-hour show, 7 to 10 o'clock selection show.
May hits them both. 73-64 North Carolina. Only 2 out of 14 in the last 8 minutes.
Wow. Going to take some time off the clock, but you still got to play. A lot of time left.
You can't trap Jarrett Jack. He is just too quick. He dribbles around it, dribbles through it. McHenry double team, kicks it out to Bynum. Just a little early to get this conservative, you think?
Yeah, but the bottom line is they took a little time off and then attacked the basket.
Bynum with a miss, or Bynum with the miss, rather. 5:36 to go in the game.
You don't want to get too cautious. This game is still not over.
Nice feed by Felton.
Down to 7. Felton with the great look. Great body control. Here come the Tar Heel faithful. They finally get alive. Here, listen to them all standing up.
21 for May. May reaches out, knocks it away. Felton. Blocked by McHenry, but he's fouled, and McHenry will foul out of the ball game, and Felton will go to the line.
McHenry, they lose their best defensive player as he comes back, tries to get a hold of him in transition. May tried to seal him off. Watch the body control of May on the inside. Look at that great body control. He hangs. And such like a ballerina for a big guy, man. Look at him right there. He's got great footwork, terrific hands. They're back. He converts these. You got a 5-point game.
Absolutely. This may be a last 5 minutes of attrition considering all the foul trouble both teams had.
I ask you, Coach, who do you think the Blue Devils want? They want North Carolina, Coach, or they want Georgia Tech?
I don't think they would like to play North Carolina simply because of the emotion that's always involved in a North Carolina-Duke game.
I agree. There's no doubt about it.
Is that a good answer?
That's a very good answer, I really believe. And I think the people in the world of television would like to see North Carolina-Duke.
Oh, sure.
And Georgia Tech's trying to spoil that matchup.
Well, neither one's going to be a picnic, that's for sure. Felton hits the first free throw. He'll get another.
They are so effective, North Carolina, when they can get that ball in transition. and get it in the hands of Mr. Felton. Everybody loves Raymond.
McCants has had his breather. He's back in at the 5:14 mark. And Felton, who has 13 points, has hit every free throw in this game. 4 for 4 now.
And you want your point guards to be able to do that. They're going to take them out for about 30 seconds, rest them on a defensive end. Oh, yes, they're really loud now. The Chapel Hill faithful have gotten up out of their seats.
Georgia Tech fans are on their feet as well, trying to cheer on the offense. Schencher comes back, trying to help. His cross-court pass hit the net, nearly hit the rim. That could have been a disaster.
It's never easy in this league, is it? You saw it last night, too. Right now, they got to start executing. Get Schencher some touches. He's a good passer.
It wasn't easy for Duke against Virginia in the first game. Jack down the lane, great cut, missed it. Schencher kept it alive, but here comes North Carolina. The foul will be on Muhammad.
There's no doubt about it. He made contact right in front of Les Jones. Ball's now starting to feel this maybe slipping away.
Jesse Holley, a seldom-used freshman, will go to the free throw line. I have not seen a game this year where North Carolina has gone this far down the roster.
Well, they have to right now. Guys are in foul trouble. Kid like Holley now getting some minutes.
Way short on the free throw line, and that's the problem with guys who haven't played very much. His first free throw attempt of the year, and it's in the ACC tournament.
Put your team down 5.
Exactly. You want pressure? And this is pressure.
And it's winning time.
Missed them both. Nice job by Schencher to screen off May, who was doing his best to get the follow rebound. 4:48 left to go. Carolina really stepping up the defensive pressure. That's going to be a violation on Lewis. He stepped in before the ball got in.
A violation right on a baseline. They're starting to get a little rattled right now, Georgia Tech.
You're right.
I would attack inside to May if I were North Carolina in this possession.
Felton is back in. They got it to Noel. Noel hit it to May. May got it and scored.
Get it to May. Get it to the big guy. Bring it to your big horse inside.
May has 23 and 8-0 run for the Tar Heels. McCants will draw the foul. Great ball game here in the quarterfinals of the ACC tournament. It's number 18 against number 19. North Carolina and Georgia Tech for the right to meet Duke tomorrow in the semifinals of the ACC. Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale, Mark Jones, our entire ESPN crew. We're delighted you could join us from a sold-out Greensboro Coliseum. And Jarrett Jack will go to the line for some big free throws here.
Mike, I don't understand it. I'm sitting here mystified why you would think of fouling a guy 70 feet from the basket like McCants did in that possession. What is the purpose of that? I don't understand it.
I think guys are just trying to make something happen, and sometimes they make those mistakes. Jack, perfect from the line. He is 5 for 5.
I think a lot of times kids don't understand score, strategy, or time.
This guy does. Felton makes the spin move, goes to the floor, kept it alive to Manuel.
Got to get out of that 3-secondary, and he did. I was trying to set a screen. McCants goes away from the screen.
Schencher so good now, coming out on double teams. They got it to May over Schencher. The foul will be on Luke Schencher, his third.
May really starting to become effective down in that low post. He really wants the ball right now. Sean May becoming a real major factor as you look at the foul trouble situation for Carolina.
They're really playing on the edge right now. Manuel, Williams, and May with 4. They're all on the floor. There's just nowhere else to go.
Got to play right now. Down 5.
May gets the nice shooter's roll on that free throw. Big game for Sean May. 24 points. He's hit 8 out of 9 from the line. His career high is 28.
I don't think he gets enough opportunities on the inside. They don't get him the ball, I don't think, on the interior. Oh, what a great offensive rebound. Bring it out.
McCants brings the ball back out, down by 4. Schencher out there trying to put defense on him. McCants misses the three. How about that rebound to Noel?
Third
Went up about 11 feet.
Third opportunity. They give a club like this 3 chances.
Felton open for 3. Got it!
Big 3 happened with that great offensive rebound to give him the third opportunity.
It's a 1-point game, and Paul Hewitt wants a timeout.
Who will be matching up with the Duke Blue Devils? Will it be Paul Hewitt, or will it be the kids from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, tomorrow in the semis?
Dick, you talked about all the close games that North Carolina has had this year, how a couple possessions one way or another could have made a huge difference. They're in another one right now.
There's Mr. Felton. Got screen for him. He knocks down the open 3. Well, you think about their losses. They lose that game we talked about. As you look at Felton, wide open on the wing. Schencher comes out too late. Knocks it down. Triple overtime to Wake Forest. Buzzer beater to Virginia. 2 heartbreakers to Duke. Tough loss at the end of the game to Kentucky. I mean, it's been all year. 24-point lead and a loss to Florida State.
But one thing you've got to see here in this pattern, they have to learn to win those.
Exactly. You got to win those kind of games before you can wind up with being great. Right now, they're good, and they're not great because they haven't been able to win those.
There's the 3-point story, and in the last 2.5 minutes, North Carolina has made a 12-2 run to cut this game to a 1-point Georgia Tech lead.
You know, Georgia Tech got a little bit cautious at the 5-minute mark, but they didn't really just try to delay.
Elder, what a tough shot in the lane.
Well, B.J. Elder made some big shots to beat North Carolina at Georgia Tech. Came up big right there with the explosive move.
16 points for B.J. Elder.
Now he's matched up on McCants. Heck of a matchup, Elder and McCants.
Felton against Jack. I mean, this is athlete against athlete. Felton for 3. We're tied.
And the book says he's not a good shooter from the perimeter. He just knocked down 2 big threes.
Raymond Felton, 4 3-point shots for the day, 20 points, tie ball game.
B.J. Elder's a guy that likes to shoot the ball with pressure on.
We thought this would be special, and it is. Elder with a miss. May tips it and controlled by Felton. Great pass.
That's what they do best. Run, baby, run in transition. I'll tell you.
The hardest pass in the world. Felton from that far away on a bounce.
It's been the Raymond Felton show. Everybody loves Raymond. They get the 5th on him.
Felton is hurt. He will be called for the foul. He hurt that hip.
The same hip.
Same hip.
Yeah, same hip, I think, in a new Duke Carolina game that we had.
That will be 4 on Felton.
Is that 4 or 5?
Yeah,
4.
I've got him with 4. He would be the 4th Carolina player with 4.
He's a gutty kid.
Oh, that's a good call because the screen was solid. He ran into Elder. And Jack will go to the line. Doesn't make it any less painful that it was a good call.
He's been sensational here in the last 4 minutes. He's trying to get over the screen. People got to communicate, man. You got to let your teammate know there's a screen. A lot of guys don't communicate and say, hey, screen on your right, screen on your right.
Jack goes to the line. He's been perfect today. Now 6 out of 6, 14 points and 6 assists for Jarrett Jack.
Raymond Felton's last 4 minutes have been sensational. Making 2 threes, penetrating, finding the open man.
Great passes.
Defending. I mean, just been incredible.
Elder hits them both. Pressure free throws from the guys you expect to make the big ones. 2:24 to go in the ball game. Raymond Felton stepping up in crunch time.
Michigan and Iowa, and Michigan on top and pulling away. Watch Chris Hunter sort of delay his cut through the lane. Here he comes, and there he goes, and there goes Iowa. 79-70. Michigan is the winner. They face the Illini in the semis tomorrow. Colorado and Texas Tech in a 1-point game, and the Southland title game you'll see next year. Stephen F. Austin underway against UT San Antonio.
2 minutes and 24 seconds to go in this ball game, tied at 79. North Carolina has come back riding the strength of McCants with 25, May with 24, Felton with 20.
17-6 run, and Felton's been responsible for 8 points, 3 assists. That means he's been involved 14 of the 17 points.
He has been spectacular. They want to go low to May again.
Smart move.
He's double-teamed and fouled by Moore.
Smart move, man. He gets the ball down in deep. He's so effective in that low post. You got to get him out of that low box area, just like they were trying today to get Elton Brown out of there for Duke. Take a look at the timeout situations in the reset. Foul situation. Carolina's got 4 left yet.
May has hit 8 out of 10 today, better than his season's average. Now 9 out of 11. The Heels go back up by 1.
Looked like they were in big trouble, Mike. They were struggling big time. Couldn't get the transition game going. They were down 11. They're standing. They really got to feel excited about the way they've come back.
May with a nice rhythm at the line. 2-point lead for the Heels.
They were able to come back and beat Connecticut in a close game. Connecticut was #1. Right now they need a defensive stop.
Jack matched up against Felton. They're trying to get Elder free on a screen. Instead, inside to Moore. Nice reverse to get away from May.
I'll tell you, Moore's been so effective off the bench. Good reverse layup. Good look inside by Jack.
May trying to get inside, has to kick it back to Felton. Under 2 minutes to go.
They got
McCants, guarded by Mohammed. Down the lane and saved by Noel. He called timeout as he was falling out of bounds.
What a great play by Noel to get that TO. Everybody loves Little Raymond. You can see why. Everybody loves Raymond. They even got T-shirts for him. He shows he can shoot the J. And then he's going to show you his ability to shoot the J from the other side. He says left, right, it doesn't matter. And then look at the eyes. Look at the vision. Look at the passing ability. Yeah, he can pass it too. Mr. Romano can't do that.
No, I bet he can't.
Everybody loves this Raymond down at Chapel Hill.
Felton averaging over 7 assists a ball game for his career in his first 2 years. That's the 5th best figure all time at North Carolina.
I'll tell you one thing, if they all come back to school and you add Marvin Williams, J.R. Smith to the whole group, they could be preseason #1 in America.
Pretty good, you think, huh?
Oh, I think they're going to be dynamite. I think it's just the beginning to set the table in the Roy Williams era.
Georgia Tech with a huge advantage off the bench, as you would expect, with their depth being far more than the Tar Heels. 1.5 minutes left. There's 12 on the shot clock right now.
2 guards going at it, trying to use the screen. Felton forced the switch.
Shot clock at 5, and Felton has to unload. It's an air ball out of bounds.
Had to force a little switch right there.
They really waited too long to initiate their offense that time. Got caught in a bind, and Felton had to fire or watch the shot clock expire.
Look how fiery Roy Williams on that side. Like you said, Mike, and said it well. They got to win these kind of games before you go to the next level.
It's one thing to get close all the time, but you got to make the bell ring every once in a while.
You got to close it out. Right now, Georgia Tech trying to close it out.
Each club has led by 11. Right now, we are tied at 81. Shot clock for Georgia Tech is down to 15. And Paul Hewitt wants a 30-second timeout.
They've stopped going into Schencher in the last about 7-8 minutes. He has not gotten touches on the interior. Spreading the court a little more. Trying for dribble penetration.
Well, as we've had 2 outstanding games so far, Virginia and Duke. The first one, Duke advances with the win after Virginia stayed alive with a victory over Clemson last night. Of course, you're watching the final 59 seconds of Georgia Tech and Carolina. We expect nothing less tonight. North Carolina State, Florida State, Wake Forest, and Maryland for the right to advance to the semifinals.
One of the key plays, the little lob up on top. Mr. Mohammed with the jam. Second half, that was a monster mash, man. That was up, and away. Skywalker time.
Georgia Tech will inbound with only 15 on the shot clock. This guy you want to get it to. Jack against Felton. Moore.
Elder's the guy they want to get the ball to. B.J. Elder.
He gets it out to Jack. Only 4 on the shot clock. Picked up his dribble. They're in trouble now. Jack has to throw up a prayer. Luchencio got his hands on it, but it's North Carolina ball.
Didn't certainly get the shot they wanted. They originally were going to go to Elder, try and create a situation for Elder.
Now,
right
there is a 6.5 second difference between the game clock, which is at 38.5, and the shot clock, which is 32. If you are Roy Williams right now, with only that much of a difference left, are you trying to work that shot clock down as far as you can before you take your shot?
Yeah, I would definitely try to work it down. I want to try to make certain that we're going to get it in the hands. If we're going to start inside, go certainly to May. But they got 3 weapons out there. Certainly May, Felton, and McCants. That can hurt you. Bottom line is right now you're in a situation, you're in control, and you don't want to lose control of this game.
38.5 seconds to go in the ball game. 32 on the shot clock. We are tied at 81.
Yeah, in overtime, this league is incredible. I mean, when you look at this league all year long, Mike, we've had one unbelievable game after another.
Well, Roy Williams hopes it doesn't go to overtime because North Carolina has lost 5 straight overtime games, including 3 this year. And with his foul problems, it's the last thing he wants to see is an extra period.
He wants to win it right here.
Yes, he
wants to be able to score here and then play tough defense and end this game. I mean, that's your coaching dream if you're a coach. On the other side, Paul Hewitt's guys, they want to really battle and play tough defense, maybe force the turnover. These clubs split during the year. Somebody's trying to go 2 out of 3.
That's Dawnette, Paul's wife.
They feel,
and, boy, they go through so much here.
God, coaches' wives, it's incredible what they face. They're going to live with the moods of the coach. The guy that wins here is on cloud 9. The guy that loses is down. Let's see right now. There's Felton. They're going to try to get a screen out of spreading the court.
May starts outside.
Put it in Felton's hands and running some clock.
McCants guarded by Muhammad.
Eventually, I think they want to slide May inside.
15 on the shot clock.
Watch the offensive rebound. That's always a dangerous play at the end on a missed shot.
9 on the shot clock. Felton directing traffic. Noel may have been wrong spot. Muhammad reaches in, knocks it away, and the ball went right to Sean May. A huge break for the Heels, and he's fouled.
And it was a huge break because Georgia Tech did a terrific job defensively. They forced the deflection. Watch the deflection on the back. Yes, sir. He turns, and there's the deflection, and the ball bounces right to May, who's fouled. And he's been brilliant on the foul line.
He's hit 10 out of 12, Dick. He has been virtually perfect. 9.8 seconds to go in this ball game.
And with Jared Jack, then you get the ball up the court quickly.
Missed the first. We are still tied. Oh, jeez.
Well, some coaches like to get a timeout to set up for the last play. Some like to just take it in the flow after the score. North Carolina has timeouts, and they can get a timeout to set up their defense if he convert.
May for the lead. He got it. It's a one-point game.
Well, I'm going to play. He wants him to run it up the court.
Now, the clock started and ran a second before it was touched. A nice piece of officiating there. It was 9.8 seconds. It's not supposed to start until it's touched after it's inbounded. Second ran off, and it had not been touched by Jarrett Jack.
Clock stops right there. Now the clock starts when he touches the ball.
Hasn't touched it yet.
Ball. Now it starts.
So they ran off a second that shouldn't have been.
They spotted it right away.
Of course, you wouldn't think 1 second would mean much, except at this point of the game, when it's the difference between 9-8 and 8-8, that might be the ball game.
No question. 1 second is monumental when you get into one-point situations at the end of a game.
Paul Hewitt has already had his say. Now, since it was eventually touched, are they going to take a half second off because it was touched before the whistle blew, or are they going to say the whistle blew after we saw the clock was running and it should go back to 9-8? So
they're going to the monitor, check it on the monitor, which they're allowed to utilize the monitor for a timing discrepancy at the end.
Now, you'll see Jarrett Jack does not touch this ball.
Yeah, see, that clock was running prior to him touching that basketball.
Was. 1 full second went off the clock before he touched it.
Good bit of officiating going there, huddling up, getting on the monitor. They'll get it right. Georgia Tech's got one timeout left. They got a 60-second one. Is he going to utilize it or let him run it up the court and call a quick timeout, or is he going to let him just play?
Clock right now is sitting at 9.3, and they're going to inbound it right here in front of us.
See, normally, coaches like taking it out after the score and running before the defense sets up.
This is a good move here, Dick. They moved it back to 9.7.
Right. Defense has a chance to set up right here.
Call. Schencher gets it to Jack. Down by 1. Jack timeout 7.2.
Well, I think it's a smart timeout right there. Utilize the timeout to get the offensive set you want. You want to make sure, I think right now, they're going to try to create some penetration off the dribble ability of Jack and look for Elder. B.J. Elder's the kind of guy that wants to be Mr. Clutch at the end of the game. Nice piece of coaching being done here. Paul Ewing gets the timeout, uses the last timeout. I thought a good piece of coaching by Roy Williams to run the clock down. Bobby Cremins sitting there, the former Georgia Tech guy who did almost the impossible. I never believed that he'd be able to take that program to what he did.
That was one of the worst major college basketball programs on the planet when he took over at Georgia Tech. They simply couldn't beat anybody. Then they're going to move into the ACC, and Bobby Cremins went down there, and you're right, Dick. He just did a brilliant job. Mark Price was his first recruit, and that started it. Here's the rest of the games we have coming your way tonight. Dave O'Brien and Brad Daugherty will bring you North Carolina State, Florida State, Wake Forest, and Maryland. The other 2 quarterfinals tonight from Greensboro.
You know, getting back to strategy right now, score. We talk about strategy and time. So important that the players know what the sequence is that's going to unfold. I think right now, if you're Georgia Tech, what's really dangerous is inbounding the basketball.
Yeah.
That used to get me so nervous as a coach. It's not the play itself. Making the successful pass to initiate the play. Right now, you got to make certain you want Jack to get that basketball and use his penetration ability.
Now, he's the guy who's going to inbound, so you have Jack and Elder.
He's going to inbound to get it right back, I believe, and then try to penetrate and get it to Elder.
Of course, B.J. Elder is a pretty good penetrator as well. Jack having trouble getting it in. Got it into Lewis. Lewis back to Jack. 4.5 seconds. 18-foot jump.
Oh, he got the
what
shot.
A shot.
He got the shot he wanted. Let's celebrating in Georgia Tech.
Jared Jack at the end of the ball game with 1.4 seconds left hits a huge shot for Georgia Tech to beat North Carolina.
I thought they would get it back to him after he inbounds the ball, Mike. They brought it back in the hands of the right guy. Did a terrific job. Got a good look, squared his body. Last year, he wouldn't have made that shot.
He wouldn't have taken that shot last year.
See?
How clutch is this?
Get it back in his hands. Nice change. Squares the body. 17-footer. Knocks it down. And the celebration begins down in Atlanta, Georgia, one of the great cities in America.
We expected a tremendous game, and we got it. A 1-point victory in a brilliant game. Mark Jones is courtside with Jarrett Jack.
Explain that last sequence to us. What exactly was supposed to happen? What exactly evolved? Was that the way it was drawn up?
Nah, we drew a play to throw Ishmael live on the weak side. I didn't think, he was open, so I just threw it to Marvin. Marvin threw it to me, and I just tried to create and made a play.
An unbelievable finish for you guys. How much strength did you guys have to come back from losing that big lead?
Oh, man, you just had to stay together out there. We knew it's just us, and, we pulled together, didn't let each other get our head down, try to stay positive, and we pulled out the win.
Felton made some big shots on you guys down the stretch. May started punishing you guys down low. How did they come back on you, and how did you guys come back?
They just stayed in sync. They started getting the ball to their go-to guys. Rashad started them off early. May keeping them going in the middle of the game, and Raymond hitting big shots late. But, my big guy played well. Luke stood up and, he took every advantage and, he helped us pull out the win.
Is this the biggest shot of your career at Georgia Tech?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. No other bigger shot than him.
So you can run up your phone bill now. Call Chris Bosh and tell him all about it, right?
Yeah, I'm going to hit him right now.
Okay, thanks a lot for joining us. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Mark. What a ball game. Our final score, Georgia Tech 83, North Carolina 82. Coming up next, the Southland Conference Championship, Stephen F. Austin, Texas San Antonio. Dr. Jerry Punch and Nancy Lieberman-Klein will be there. Jarrett Jack, the hero, as Georgia Tech wins. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.